mo kí gbogbo wa nílé lóko lẹ́yìn òdì mo kí wa pa kó bójú ọjọ́ ṣe rí mo kẹ́yìn ìyá mo kẹ́yìn bàbá mo kí ẹ̀gbọ́n mo kí àbúrò èmi ọmọ yín olólùfẹ́ yín ayé ọpẹ́ yọ sí ọlọ́dọ̀ títí yín náà ní agbára lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run ayé ọpẹ́ àmọ́ yọ fún wa lórí ọmọ lórí ìdáwọ́lé wa owó la ayé ọpẹ́ ló máa fi máa yọ fún wa èwo ni mo ní kájọ pé èwo lọ́jọ́ títí òní gẹ́gẹ́ bí mo ṣe máa ṣe eléyìí ni fídíò tí mo promise wípé fídíò náà ń bọ̀ kẹ́ máa fojú lọ́nà òun náà lè léyìí wípé tí mo pe àkọlé ẹ̀ wípé a pè ní wípé a kú àfojúbà a kú palẹ̀mọ́ a kú palẹ̀mọ́ ìpalẹ̀mọ́ kí ni ìyá mi bàbá mi ẹ̀gbọ́n mi àti àbúrò mi àti ẹ̀yin ẹlẹgbẹ́ mi ìpalẹ̀mọ́ kí lẹ̀yin rò èpo lè jẹ́ ìpalẹ̀mọ́ ìrìn àjò wa yìí náà ni ìpalẹ̀mọ́ kí ni ìpalẹ̀mọ́ ìrìn àjò wa yìí náà ni ọ̀rẹ́ mọ́wọ́ rẹ̀ wá ọ̀rẹ́ mọ́wọ́ rẹ̀ wá congratulations ọ̀rẹ́ mọ́wọ́ rẹ̀ wá ọ̀rẹ́ mọ́wọ́ rẹ̀ ọ̀rẹ́ mọ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mọ́wọ́ rẹ̀ wá alámájọ gbégbá ọpẹ́ ní sẹ́ẹ̀ a máa jọ máa gbégbá ọpẹ́ ní ṣé mọ nǹkan tí àwọn ẹlẹ́sìn tán máa ń sọ ọmọ pé free thinker lèmi wọ́n máa ń sọ wípé ẹ máa dúpẹ́ nǹkan tẹ́ ẹ̀ tí ì rí ẹ ṣe àdúrà 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 à ń ṣe ọpẹ́ nǹkan tí a ti rí tá a ti fojú kan bọ̀ tá a ti mọ̀ wípé ayọ̀ lélẹ̀ máa bọ́ sí ọpẹ́ ló máa bọ́ sí ìrọ̀rùn ló máa já sí no going back ni o torí wípé aláwa ti rí àpẹẹrẹ a dẹ̀ ti rí ìdánimọ̀ a ti rí ìdánilójú bọ̀ ṣá máa wá ṣe báyìí nínú ṣá máa fòdọ́wọ́ nínú a máa kanlẹ̀kùn yẹn títí dìgbà tí Ọlọ́run Elédùmarè tó máa ní yes òun lélẹ́yìí ìrìn àjò wa gbogbo àwọn tó ń fà sẹ́yìn àwa dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ wọn ni wọ́n ní tí èyí ò bá ṣe bóyá ìtọ́jú yẹn lọ ni ò bá ṣe a kú oríire a kú àmójúbà a tún kú kíni a tún kú ìpalẹ̀mọ́ ẹ̀yin ọlọ́pọlọ ẹ̀yin olórí pípé ẹ̀yin ìyá mi bàbá mi ẹ̀gbọ́n mi àti àbúrò mi àti ẹ̀yin ẹlẹgbẹ́ mi tí a kì í ṣe oníjàgídíjàgan tá a nígbàgbọ́ wípé ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀sìn kọ́ ni ọ̀rọ̀ wípé a fẹ́ bọ́ nínú oko ẹrú ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀sìn kọ́ lọ̀rọ̀ eléyìí oníkálukú máa lọ fèsì ìdájọ́ ẹ̀ ni bọ̀ wípé a fẹ́ jà fún ìran wa ó máa wà títí láéláyé kọ́ dẹ̀ lè sọ nípa tèmi àti wípé a ṣe wọn tá a lè ṣe òun ní gbogbo ìtawà náà tá à ń ṣe yìí ẹ̀yin tí ẹ̀ bá wá jẹ́ àwọn tó jẹ́ wípé àìmọ̀kànmọ̀kàn tí ẹ̀sìn tó ti fi búrẹ́dì kó wọn lómi ọbẹ̀ lọ gẹ́gẹ́ bó ṣe fún irú èmi yìí náà ní ìgbà kan rí ṣó ti yé yín sìn nítorí èmi náà ti gbàgbé kọjá nígbà kan rí àwọn tó bá ìkú ń bẹ̀ wọ́n lè má lè digest nǹkan tí màá gbé wáyé bọ́ ó máa ṣe ní láàánú wípé ó yẹ káwọn náà kí wa kú oríire ó yẹ káwọn náà bá láyọ̀ yọ̀ ó yẹ kí everybody ká bára wa yọ̀ pé èyí tí mo rí pẹ̀lú nǹkan tí mò ń gbọ́ yìí mo ní ìgbàgbọ́ wípé lótìtọ́ àtòdodo ẹ ti ń múra sílẹ̀ ẹ ti ń ṣe ìpalẹ̀mọ́ torí àwọn questions máa ń wà lóríṣiríṣi pé tá a bá gbà á kí lẹ máa ṣe kí lẹ máa jẹ kí lẹ máa mú kí lẹ máa wọ̀ èyí tó kọ́kọ́ ṣe pàtàkì òun ni eléyìí ìyá mi bá mi ẹ̀gbọ́n mi àṣàbúrò mi ẹ wá nǹkan fìdílé nǹkan torí ó máa gbà wá àlàyé lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́ ni tí ò ń ṣe lẹ́nu èèyàn kan tí ò ń ṣe lẹ́nu èèyàn méjì tí ò ń ṣe lẹ́nu èèyàn mẹ́ta ẹ máa gbà mí náà lọ́gàá wípé èmi náà darapọ̀ mọ́ àwọn ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n yìí ni mo ṣe lè rí ààbọ̀ eléyìí láti mú wá fún yín iṣẹ́ ni mo ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ kí ni mo kíra mi ìjẹ̀bù fọ́ ọpọlọ jábọ́ omi ara rẹ̀ ó ní kàn kí òun akíra òun bẹ́ẹ̀ bá kí mi akíra mi náà ẹ má gbàgbé láti bá wa fi kọ́mẹ̀ntì tí ń sílẹ̀ ojú tẹ́ fi wò ẹ má gbàgbé láti bá mi láìkẹ́ ẹ dẹ̀ má gbàgbé láti share tó wá jẹ́ nígbà àkọ́kọ́ tẹ̀ ṣe wọ́n darapọ̀ mọ́ wa lórí ìkànnì aláyọ̀ yìí ẹ má gbàgbé láti subscribe so that anytime tó bá ń ṣe program ẹ lè máa jẹ́ ní àkọ́kọ́ tẹ̀ wọ́n kọ́ máa rí notification. God bless you, one love, ẹ máa bá mi kálọ ó yá ń bẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ wá ó yá ń bẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ wá. Here we go.
celebrating yẹn for over 100 years. But that was discovered ni pé Ọ̀rúnmìlà àti Ifá pẹ̀lú ìmọ̀ tó ní wọ́n ti build kìíní yẹn tẹ́lẹ̀ ní ayé ìgbà wáṣẹ̀ tí wọ́n pè ní odù Ifá. So the fire engine that we build that we solve the problem in physics. I have unify physics. Our number that discover unify physics. I have unify Google field and discipline. Now this thing I develop a field on IFA mathematics. That is the mathematics of the IFA. Now you know I want define. I want IFA mathematics.
See project. Yeah. Emma Parasain today for idea. Okay. So we are going to Omayewa. In the course of pé ìka méjì ìka kan yẹn túmọ̀ sí 0 and 1 tẹ́tà gbìyànjú àti ṣìnà ṣe lè tún sọ kí ló túmọ̀ sí kí ni báàlẹ̀ ṣe mọ̀ wípé nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀ ló túmọ̀ sí, and because ọ̀rọ̀ binary yẹn is not even a recent thing. A lot of project research work has been done by computer scientists, Yoruba computer scientists, British computer scientists, German computer scientists. So in terms of saying pé kò kì í ṣe binary number ló túmọ̀ sí pé nǹkan mí ni ṣe lè sọ fún wa báwo lẹ́yìn ṣe mọ̀ pé bẹ́ẹ̀ ló ṣe yẹ kó rí àti pé kí ni ìtumọ̀ nǹkan tẹ́yìn ló kò jẹ́ gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìwádìí tí.
Nǹkan tó jẹ́ gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìwádìí ti wa nǹkan tó mean ni energy or consciousness ló mean. Nǹkan tí àwọn ọdún yẹn mean nìyẹn. Nǹkan tó ń pè ní energy consciousness nísìnyí àwọn sáyẹ́nsì wọn ò tí mọ̀ nǹkan tó wọ́n understand the soul and spirit nísìnyí. Oh my God, no, soul and spirit. There's a new emerging discipline in science that is called consciousness science. Listen, scientists don't share around the world. So the last frontier in science is the code. Because the scientists in study historically starting to lot of joy in what are for jury. Now, if spirit what to soul what to now nǹkan tí àwọn babaláwa kẹ wọ́n ti solve gbogbo àwọn problem kò sí gbogbo problem tá à ń face nísìn tí àwọn babaláwa náà tí wọ́n ti face tí wọ́n dẹ̀ solve so gbogbo solution ẹ̀sìn lọ́dẹ̀ document nínú odù Ifá. So nǹkan tí one and double yẹn mean ni àwọn omi universe nǹkan tó kọ́ mi pé universe tí odù kan bá jáde nǹkan tó odù kan kó sínú ó pọ̀. So the converge jáde báyìí tí ìdàkejì bá tún jáde that is double line nǹkan tó kó sínú pọ̀. Now àwọn nọ́mbà tá a máa ń kọ́ ní school ó póríṣiríṣi even though àti ní Yorùbá àwọn èèyàn tí ìfọ́ọ̀mù táàmù fún apart from òwe tá a fi ń ṣe òǹkà ọ̀kan èjì àwọn èèyàn tí wọ́n kàn ní natural numbers counting numbers tá a fi ń ṣe òǹkà ní maths. Now natural numbers yẹn àgbáyé nọ́mbà kan ni àgbáyé yẹn sì ní àwọn wọ́n ní àwọn ní single line yẹn àti double line yẹn dúró fún line kan báyìí family of numbers kan ló dúró fún kò ń ṣe number kan pé 0 and 1 family kan báyìí natural number ìkànnì ìdàbí kí supercomputer ibi tí èèyàn ṣì ń ka number kan supercomputer bá kọ ní pé eléyìí infinity ni infinity yẹn kẹ family kan ni they have odù kan ló bí wọn energy kan ló bí wọn ó kà á ní eléyìí wọn á kó díẹ̀ ní single line. So nọ́mbà yìí ó ní ẹnì kejì tí wọ́n bá fẹ́ wo ìpọ́nrí ẹ̀ pé ó ní pọ́nrí ó ní òdì kejì wọ́n á kó díẹ̀ ní òdì ojú òdì. So universe kan ní kíní kan yẹn dúró fún ojú òdì wá dúró fún ìdàkejì universe yẹn. So tá a bá mú nínú àwọn nọ́mbà àwọn kíní òdù yẹn ni binary Ifá ní binary mathematics tẹ̀ tí kò ń ṣe ìtàn ṣe ní sùkúl tó yẹ pé binary yẹn universe ni universe even binary number binary mathematics tóyìnbó ti ṣe tí wọ́n ti dé ó wà nù binary inú Ifá yẹn is universe of binary mathematics and binary mathematics is just one tiny aspect of that universe. nǹkan tí mò ń sọ nìyẹn a ti ṣe pépà lórí kínní à ń ṣe lecture lórí ẹ̀ náà tẹ́kẹ́ a máa ń kọ́ àwọn èèyàn ní àwọn nọ́mbà yẹn the nọ́mbà yẹn kan tó fi máa ń ṣe ni pé téèyàn bá fẹ́ study gbogbo iṣẹ́ papọ̀ lẹ́ǹkan náà èèyàn fẹ́ ẹ̀wọ̀n pé nísìnyí science àwọn òyìnbó wọ́n break science wọ́n break ẹ̀ sí ẹ̀yà oríṣiríṣi bọ́ àwọn ọba aláwọ̀ wọn kì í ṣe science bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n máa ń ṣe papọ̀ ni Ọ̀rúnmìlà ó máa ṣe science ó máa ṣe pọ̀ mọ́ art ó máa ṣe ẹ̀rí pé ní òdúfà gbẹ nífà kó sínú àwọn amúmáàsì yẹn sì àwọn discover maths táwọn èèyàn fi lè máa ṣe ìdí study àwọn courses yẹn bẹ́ẹ̀ then nǹkan tó yìnbó ti ṣe àwọn náà lè discover nǹkan tí nǹkan pọ̀ ní odù Ifá tó yẹ pé àwọn èèyàn dúdú àti ìmọ̀ so nǹkan tí mímọ̀ bí àlàyé mi yẹn ó yé wa.
Ó ń yé mi o, ó ń yé mi, eléyìí lágbára o, ó ń yé mi o. Nǹkan tí ó túmọ̀ sí ni pé àti ẹ̀ tí bẹ̀rẹ̀ rárá pé gbogbo àwọn papers ta ṣe ń kà yẹn wọn ò tí bẹ̀rẹ̀ rárá because tó bá ti jẹ́ pé infinity wà àwọn other super numbers kan wà káwa dẹ̀ wá dúró sórí 1 àti 0 tó jẹ́ pé ó kéré sáwọn numbers yẹn because nǹkan tẹ̀ ń ṣàlàyé fún wa nísìnyí ni pé binary fusions yẹn wọ́n sì kéré sáwọn numbers tẹ́yìn ti discover pẹ̀lú àwọn òbí yẹn.
wọ́n kéré sí wọn gbogbo táwa ṣì ń ṣe táwọn èèyàn ṣì ń ṣe láti binary number ìgbà tó yìnbó ti ṣe kò sí kan tí wọ́n fẹ́ discover ní boolean algebra ní binary mathematics tó yìnbó ti discover kò sí ọkàn máa bí lórí nǹkan tó yìnbó ti ṣe ní nǹkan àwọn kan tuntun wà tó yẹ pé nígbà sáyẹ́ǹsì Ifá wọn ò tí ì tapẹ̀ rárá àwọn aláṣẹ ń discover nǹkan láti pé gbogbo nǹkan táwọn èèyàn tí ta ti ń ṣe wọn ò tí ì discover sáyẹ́ǹsì nínú ìṣe nǹkan táwọn èèyàn ṣì ń apply nínú Ifá nínú ìṣẹ̀ṣe is just the art. Ìṣẹ̀ṣe science is like a raw gold tó yẹ pé people don't know that gold yẹn wà ń bẹ̀ tó yẹ pé science gan òyìnbó ti débẹ̀ gbogbo binary mathematics boolean fusion yẹn gbogbo ìtọ́ máa ní binary machine language nínú Ifá gbogbo yẹn òyìnbó ti fẹ́ gba àwọn yẹn Ifá ní algebra àti tiẹ̀ tó yẹ pé kò sí rẹ̀ ní àgbáyé tí ìmọ̀ òyìnbó ti débẹ̀ nǹkan tá à ń sọ nìyẹn pẹ̀lú a ní Ifá algebra a ní Ifá numbers Ifá gbogbo nǹkan tí èèyàn tó bá ń ṣe ní school ẹni tó ń ṣe music ni o Ifá music wà tó yẹ pé àwọn èèyàn tí ì ṣe iṣẹ́ débẹ̀ tóyìnbó ti ṣiṣẹ́ débẹ̀ nǹkan tí à ń sọ nìyẹn tó yẹ pé gbogbo ẹ̀ mathematics lọ fi ń study gbogbo ẹ̀ mathematics nínú odò Ifá lọ fi ń study ẹ̀ kò ń ṣe táwọn èèyàn lò ní bọ́yìn study àwọn kan ṣe ẹ̀sìn ó ní bí Ọ̀rúnmìlà àti Ifá bọ́yìn study bọ́ ṣe ń ṣe tiwọn gbọ̀ngàn máàsì lọ fi ń ṣe gbogbo nǹkan àwọn kìíní táwọn babaláwo máa ń ṣe yẹn single and double ní àwọn Ọ̀rúnmìlà máàsì yẹn kóòdù yẹn is a universal code òun lọ́ fi máa ń ṣe gbogbo táwọn máa ń ṣe táwọn èèyàn máa fi rún wọ́n máa ń ṣe nǹkan àgbàyanu òyìnbó rẹ̀ tí ní mọ̀ débẹ̀ so nǹkan tá a discover ni.
Ẹ ṣé o dọ́tọ̀ ẹ lè ọ̀nù tún sí background ọ̀sẹ̀ kí n ní tilẹ̀ kan.
Mi ti wà nínú ẹ̀sọ́ kan nígbà mi mọ̀ bí nǹkan tẹ́ ń sọ ẹ̀ ti ń wà. Nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ni pé ọ̀rọ̀ tí alàgbà yìí sọ ó dẹ́rù bà mí ó wá tún wá gbé wa lọ síbi tí ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n Bùsúyì ti ń bá a sọ̀rọ̀ látẹ̀kan bí àgbáyé ẹ̀yà ṣe máa ń lọ sókè ni pé gbogbo ọwọ́ ó gbúdọ̀ wà lórí tábìlì ni fún àpẹẹrẹ àwọn irú Zen project yìí tó bá jẹ́ pé nǹkan tí wọ́n ń ṣe nìyí ó yẹ kí àjọ kan wà a ní àwọn àjọ oríṣiríṣi nílẹ̀ Yorùbá lára àwọn àjọ yẹn ó yẹ bó tẹ̀ jẹ́ pé Yorùbá Academic of Science ló máa wá dá sí tí wọ́n wá sọ pé òkè ẹ̀yin gómìnà ilẹ̀ Yorùbá o ẹ bá fi nǹkan kan báyìí sí àbí ẹ bá fọ àwọn èèyàn yìí sí agbègbè ibi báyìí torí pé wọ́n máa nílò àwọn ìrànlọ́wọ́ wọ́n fẹ́ lọ bì kan ni wọ́n fẹ́ ṣe báyìí torí nǹkan táwọn tún gbé dání yìí science náà tún gbé dání in fact for me ó ti sọ wá kọjá ní ibi tá a ṣe ti ń bọ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan ẹ̀ for instance àwọn nǹkan sódà a máa bá ti lè wo ká ti lè gbọ́ tó ti máa yí wọn mò ń gbọ́ tí bàbá kan sọ pé ó dàbí ẹni pé ti gbé wa lọ sínú physics class irú àwọn tá a dẹ̀ ṣe physics bí àwọn professor Bùsúyì báyìí but nǹkan tẹ́ ẹ̀ sọ yẹn ó ń yé mi yékéyéké bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe sọ yẹn ó ń yé mi ó dẹ̀ ń jẹ́ kí inú mi dùn ayọ̀ mi ń kún ń pé nínú nǹkan táwọn bàbá tàwa ṣe sílẹ̀ ibẹ̀ ni ẹnìkan ti ń fọwọ́sọ̀yà pé àní ẹ̀ tí ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ inú mi ń dùn gan ni ẹ ṣe púpọ̀ eléyìí máa bá tọ́jú lẹ́yìn abá kẹ́yìn abá gẹ̀yìn ọpọlọ yín ò ní dàrú ìmọ̀ yín ò ní bàjẹ́ bó fẹ́ ṣe ń ṣe ẹ máa lọ sókè gbogbo ìrànlọ́wọ́ tó bá yẹ kẹ́ rí làwọn alálẹ̀ yìí wọ́n á ṣe mo mọ̀ pé irú àwọn èèyàn bíi ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n Bùsúyì náà táwọn náà ń tọ́ da orí ètò yìí sílẹ̀ mo mọ̀ kó wọ́n máa sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ẹ̀ because gbogbo nǹkan tá ń lò láti ṣe nìyẹn láti tẹ̀síwájú gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìran àti ẹ̀yà torí pé àti ríbi tá a ríbi gójúlé nǹkan táwọn kan ṣe lára nǹkan táwa kan ṣe dúró pé òkè àwa ẹ̀sìn táwa mú dání àti nǹkan tó wà nínú ẹ̀sìn yẹn ẹ lè máa bú àwa pé ẹ̀sìn làwa gbé dání o àlópọ̀ ju nǹkan táyìn gan rí lọ so ẹ lè bá wa ṣe a lè jọ lájọṣepọ̀ a lè jọ ṣe dáadáa yàtọ̀ sí pé ní pé dandan ká bá a ṣẹ̀ sí wa àmọ́ advancement fún ìran wa ìran ọkàn tá a ní mi yìí a ní gbogbo láti ṣe àgbájọwọ́ kájọ gbé sókè eléyìí máa bá a dúró tì í a máa kẹyìn a máa gẹ̀yìn a máa kò ní pa lẹ́yìn a máa tẹ̀lé yín lọ sí òkúta bá ń lọ èṣù a máa ràn yín lọ́wọ́ lágbàlẹ́ ìgbà rẹ̀ ní rí dààmú láéláé ẹ ṣé.
ẹ ṣé so ẹ ṣé gan.
Uncle Busoye, we cannot hear you. You're mute.
To do the things you do, to be able to, I think we're feeling the cocoa, digging deep to find different things that other people may not have found before. And yes, so I mean, when researchers talk, sometimes they may sound, because there isn't a different kind of language. And they must say Yoruba, but maybe more scientific terms and terminologies and things like that. So I want to go. But the important thing is perhaps better about websites more, if we read his papers or something, we'll be able to have better understanding of what he has said. But again, well done. Great job from the things that you have said. Hopefully by the time we read a bit more, Bravo, you may speak now, and then we go to J-Links. And maybe CM Project can come back to you later. And J-Links, and then
we met on another group where this particular topic that we just ventured on gets discussed very, very deeply in terms of the correlation, actually the foundations of computer science and IFA and the INFA contributions towards electronic. So a lot of that I've read. I actually just to help my brother Sem Project Bolowo, his book that he's read written a very profound book that's out there for people who want to find out more about this topic. I recently purchased myself a copy, so I would definitely recommend it for anyone else who's interested in this topic. It's something which is this particular subject has given me a lot of personal, in terms of confidence in myself and the way that I view myself in the Western world. So I think I've taken a lot of self-esteem from this particular topic, and it's something that I've gone into quite deeply as well. I'm still learning, but I just wanted to acknowledge my brother Sen Project for the amazing work he's done on this particular subject. I know you've got a lot of some big projects and some more to come. And if anyone wants to make some contributions or at least to support the research that he's doing, I think this is something which would definitely be beneficial to us as a people. Because Koti Babami Sem Project in Sheye, I mean, there's nothing like it on the face of the earth as we currently speak. That's known anyway. Maybe in some secret societies deep in the mountains somewhere, but nothing public. So I think we need to put our arms around him and give him all the support that we can. Okay, I'll just stop there. And just one more thing I wanted to say, and this is something I already commented in the chat as well. What my brother Sen Project was explaining earlier, I just wanted to elaborate on that if I can. I think in terms of the concept of the binary numbers that we're seeing now within Oduifa, it may appear as binaries in terms of ones and zeros, but it's actually deeper than that. And I just wanted to provide, you could say, just to provide a reference for that. So if we've all seen the barcode system whenever we go into shops or supermarkets, right? When you look at the barcode, it's always written in ones, right? You see it's almost like the old Duifa, the way it's written in ones. That's what we see that looks like a code. That's what they put the scanner on to scan an item. To the naked eye, it just looks like lines of ones, right? But behind that, each number there is actually got a product reference behind it, which describes the type of product that it is, the size of the product, the functionality of the product, the description, the size, and things like that, which goes into a much deeper level. So an example of, I think, what my brother was trying to explain, that when we look at the ones and zeros, in terms of the way they're written, it goes deeper than that because it's only a representation of a much deeper information in the background. I just wanted to use that example, so hopefully it enables the people that are not really that scientific in the audience to try and grasp that. I just wanted to add that to the conversation. I'll stop there. I hope that makes sense.
I think, see, to be fair, right? I think it's I don't use the word better. It's a very good way of explaining it. But let me quickly say something.
Mm-hmm.
So using the barcode to explain the markings made on the okpo, it's a very, very good way of explaining, because now you're saying that, when you see all those markings, those signs, you say something deeper. But again, what I really want to even tell the people is this. The way the thing works is that when Toba, Dara, and they make those signs, there's a lot of permutations and combinations happening, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that when they're done making all those signs, it now tells them the Odu they're supposed to key.
Absolutely.
And then they cannot go into the depths of it. But I think what it was, and so I agree 100% with you. In other words, those signs are like, the barcode is a very brilliant, way of explaining it. But I think the reason they've used the idea of binaries is because perhaps it could also be that. But I think barcode, what you just said, is even deeper than that. But
yeah, it's just a simplification and a representation. It's almost like looking at something which is basically a reference code. Then you can then use it to go and understand, well, okay, if you reference it against maybe like a database of information, you can then use that reference, because every barcode is unique. You can then take that barcode and go and look at what it actually means.
Yeah.
Or do if obviously there are other utilizations of it as well. I just wanted to add that, because I know that some people they're layman people like myself that don't really understand the deep scientific knowledge that my brother Sam Project was trying to impart. I just wanted to give people the benefit of that example, that analogy. So hopefully that gives it a much more, you could say, everyday kind of context.
Thank you very much. That helps a lot. It actually does help a lot. But yeah. So
thank you, sir. That's all I wanted to add. I'll step down for now to allow other people to come up.
All right then. Thanks a lot. But you can still send me. Nobody's coming up yet. J-Links, and then our sister Queen Goddess May. J-Links, please.
Okay, thank you. Can you hear me?
Welcome. Yes, please.
So I think I love the way things are unfolding, and I think we should take these things that we are sharing. Can be branches of science, branches of Ifa. Ifa is like a big bowl, a wealth of knowledge, a source of knowledge. A physicist can be right, a computer science can be right, a mathematician, a statistician is right, because they will all, the way, even in science, the way they talk is different, but it's still for learning. And the lesson to man teach, they are all valid in their own different branches. So zeros and one is not to be seen as small. It's not to a universal number. It should not be seen like that, because that's a machine language on its own. However, they are also correct. This position, Mr. CM project, review this revelation of Hawaii is more worthy of being pretended like, okay, this is our own, it's a Yoruba own, than we Yoruba saying Oyinbo copy copy la Ifa láti fi ṣe computer, when we don't have a categorical proof. But this one, we can pretend it and say, okay, what he's saying, if it is subjected to different tests, different understanding and analogy, and it come out good. Thank God they said you have written a book and they have been developing a lot of things on it. So, but we can say, yes, this is a whole knowledge, educational materials from Yoruba people to the world that we can patent and classify, and nobody can say yes. But we won't be bothered about saying Oyinbo copy Oyinbo fele awala she. So Oyinbo no ma wa okay. Okay, and they will now start using it for whatever learning or whatever purpose that people can benefit from it. So it will help us from portraying ourselves as everything that she and link Moyibo or I suppose you go copying color when that we might be right because Papa will be Mr. Efalu, he spoke brilliantly a lot. But at the end of the day, we are all relating in fact to electromagnetic fields, to all these already known fields. We are only relating them and saying, okay, though the dates predate these courses, but gbọ́dọ̀ gbàgbé wípé gbogbo orílẹ̀-èdè àbí àwọn orílẹ̀-èdè kọ̀ọ̀kan ló ní ancestral revelations wọn tó fi ń resolve amen táwọn náà ní. So Yorùbá ní kọ̀ọ̀kan ló ń solve malaria, Yorùbá ní kọ̀ọ̀kan ló ń solve àwa a ní Ọlọ́run dá wa ní ìrẹ̀dá tó jẹ́ pé a ní àwọn baba ńlá wa ní ìmọ̀ yẹn láti fi solve ìṣòro tá a ní tó pẹ̀kúlẹ̀ sí ọ̀dọ̀ wa. Àwọn orílẹ̀-èdè mi náà ní tiwọn tó bá bẹ̀ sí sọ̀rọ̀ everybody máa fọwọ́ lẹ́rọ̀ ni, but ability to have a patented findings which can be branched into computer science, physics, biology and so many things, but it will be nobody will say that kò ní sáà níyànjú yàn pé àwọn Yorùbá kọ́ ló délé. But mo fẹ́ sọ nìyẹn. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's a very, very good point. Again, see, let's remember that we're trying to have an intellectual conversation. So the best thing to do when you people say things like, oh, there are many proofs. There are many proofs is not proof. Proof is proof. Read this book, this document, this person wrote something, and this is what they've said, and then you can read it. That's how you tell people proof. Let's not do this thing of, that's not proof. Okay? And I also like to tell people that there's a basic thing in philosophy. Correlation is not causation. Just because you cannot become. You can have doppelgangers who are not who are not related at all. So just to say that we are great. I mean, we have a great stuff on our hands, and it's our duty to make it even greater. I'm going to have
the comment section.
More. I don't know. You don't have to be a physicist. The doctor is an artist and he's using it for arts. Some people will use it for music. Some people will use it for physics. Some people use it for mathematics. You know, so kasha jeko rikari pe nkan ta be fi le omo lowo ó yàtọ̀ sí pé bàbá mi ṣe báyìí àti gbọ́ kílẹ̀ yìí ṣe náà máa bèrè lọ́wọ́ tó bá yá o. What do we want to do with what we have, with what our fathers have done? That's actually where the work is. Thanks to everybody who was a part of the conversation. We have Queen Goddess May now as we begin to round up.
Yeah, hey boss. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah. I just wanted to say my professor back in University Coventry said something to me that we're just having a casual conversation that day after lecture. So her name is Okwe Raji. She's a Muslim, a Muslim. But she said something to me. She said, look, May, she said, you know our Ifa back home. She said, you know that Odu Ifa is endless. I said, what do you mean? She now gave me an instant. Ninu Odu Ifa when you are Owaki, Auntie, she key and one Odu Ifa. Then I wasn't into Ifa. Oh, who is that? Sorry. I'm echoing back to me. Is that me? Is it better now?
It's gone.
Yeah, it's better. Yeah, she now said to me that she now key I want to Ifa. Then I wasn't into Ifa, so I really didn't, know what she was saying. So she now key I want to Ifa. She now said to me that, May, do you know that this old Ifa that I keyed just now to you, that in that old Ifa, you will find so many things there, and that's not even the end. In that so many things, you will find so many things in that so many things. And remember that you said it, Uncle Busoye, you said it one time. I think it was yesterday, not even one time, yesterday, when you were reading one old Ifa, and you said, we are not, because old Ifa you go, actually bank on me in bed. You remember you said it yesterday. And this now made me to realize, Yeah, this time made me to realize that even the sci-fi movie that we watch, you know sci-fi movies and stuff. And when they go to different universe and start discovering it, I know it's a movie, but think about it. For those people to even think about it, okay, after she sci-fi movie and go to different universe, it's a movie, it's just your imagination and things. I repeat this word, like the what CEN project said, that Ifa is endless. But this universe is endless. We haven't even touched the surface. Look at, you remember that movie, Marvel movie now, the Infinity Wars, what's it called? Thor, Loki, and stuff. You understand? If you think about it, yes. Our mind hasn't even touched anything. I know it's movies, but trust me, there are a lot of things to discover in Ifa. So many things. To just pay more 1% of it. 1% more. Like you said yesterday, Uncle Bisuye. You understand? You've been saying it, but maybe you've not said it the way CEN project said it, but you've been saying it, passively. But we too, if we now limit this thing, this magnificent stuff that Olodumare has bestowed to us, if we now limit it to just this aspect only, then that means we're doing our race a disservice. This is how I see it. But taba limit here, lori pe spirituality nìkan. Then what about the science of it? What about the agriculture of it? What about the medicine of it? What about all those things? Baba kon kifa kon lojo kon. In that Ifa, you find ogun amunututu. Like if woman is what's it called? Aye, ama pe ni aye. Aye ní ọ̀dọ̀ títí wa ní Ìlàjẹ. Mi mọ nǹkan tó ń pè ní English. But wọ́n máa ń pè ní aye ní ọ̀dọ̀ títí wa ní Ìlàjẹ. Mi mọ nǹkan tó ń pè ní English. I'm so sorry. The daddy kifa yìí. In that Ifa, Daddy, I tell you, ogun ayé wà ńbẹ̀. Ogun ayé, ó wà nínú Ifá yẹn tí bàbá yẹn kì lọ́jọ́ yẹn. Mo pé, man, this is amazing. So just to come back to what we're saying, Uncle Busi, you've been saying it for the longest. But we don't want to listen. Let's not limit this thing on one aspect, because if our limits here, we are doing ourselves a disservice of what Olodumare has given to us. I rest my case, sir.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, my sister. Thank you. I don't know if I'm going to have this conversation again on Monday. We may or may not, but just in case we don't, I'm just going to quickly read some things that maybe this will also help in understanding some of these things. So I read from a book. There's a book written by, I think it's a German, and yes, they mentioned a lot about the binary things. Also, let me say that what he said doesn't remove the fact that the binary exists. People use binary to understand what they're saying. He's just saying that they're deeper stuff. Not that what people have done in the past, it doesn't. So let me just repeat that. So there's this book I want to read. The book is called Ifa, Forest of Mystery. Hi, how are you?
Please chasing your panda. I'm looking for a ring.
It's called Ifa, Forest of Mystery. It's written by Nicolas de Matos Frisfond. And that's the funny thing. They have a lot of books of Oromila, and the subsequent descendants pay reference to him as Baba Ifa. Already mentioned that. So this is what I'm going to end with this. It would be ridiculous to raise the question as to whether or not Oromila was religious. He was the leader of a religious cult, which established a school structured like Plato's Academy, in which various themes and subjects, including religion, science, morality, mathematics, the social sciences, and so on, were taught. The question of believing in many gods did not arise, since it's explicitly stated that every Orisha was a human being. I'm going to read that again. The question of believing in many gods did not arise, since it is explicitly stated that every Orisha was a human being revered as a national hero or heroine after death. A group of ancient Yoruba men and women who were later so honored were colleagues of Orunmila. What he's saying, I think I said it earlier before, that when it comes to the issue of Orishas, and people say Orisha, that Orunmila would be Orunmila was a contemporary of certain people who were later deified. And let me just finish reading that part. The divination system was designed as a process of knowing God's will. The act of Ifa divination is therefore not a process of speaking directly to God like a medium. The goal is that of choosing relevant verses from a large expanse of oral text stored in a computer-compatible binary coding system. The technique formulated by Orunmila is one in which predictions are arrived at through the use of mathematical laws of probability. The group led by Orunmila regarded prayer, sacrifice, fasting, worship, and rituals as essential parts of their religious obligations. And contrary to the view of scholars who see Ifa as restricted to this religious, it's not even scholars, even practitioners who see Ifa restricted to these religious activities, the pursuit of secular knowledge, including science, mathematics, and philosophy, was an integral part of the syllabus of his school of thought. This is precisely because Orunmila lived during Yoruba classical age, in which, like in most ancient traditions of the world, there were no hard lines drawn between religion, philosophy, science, and social studies. So, and I think we mentioned earlier that that's job and we have to find a way to be able to delineate, especially if you're looking at things from a philosophical standpoint or scientific standpoint or social studies. So when I say social studies, for instance, all those things are also inside Ifa. So it's not just the religious aspect. And it only takes a person who cannot see beyond the religious prism to tell people that you cannot use another book to explain something. That tells you a person who has never read anything about Ifa to even start with. And I don't know why you are here in the comment section. So yeah, the basic idea is just a quick run through of some of the similarities. Socrates was born around 468 BC. Orunmila, we know he was said to be born around 500 BC. We know his father, we know his mother, like I mentioned earlier. We even know his wife, Iwa. We also know what he looked like. We know all those things. Why am I talking about this part of him? Again, I need to repeat this because we cannot but have certain kind of people in our midst. This does not reduce him. It does not reduce the impact that he has had and that he will continue to have in Yoruba philosophy. It's just to, put him in a particular light. Like we said, there are three different ways of looking at him. There's a mythical one, which a lot of people, stay with, and that's okay. And then there is the corporate one, which talks about the understanding that people have about him or about the concept of Orunmila even before the person came along, according to Yoruba scholar. And then, of course, we now have the historical one. So today we'll be focusing on the historical one. We've talked about his work, how he's worked. He has 16 disciples, whose names also, are similar to the original 16 Odus. We know we're up to 56. It's like a computer storage system. And what that means basically is, and I think this is where people make mistakes and say they copied it from us. So I'll say this to you guys. I'm not going to say anybody did not copy anything from us, but you also should not be bold to say they did if you have no proof. That's just my own advice. But when people say it's a computer storage system, what they're saying basically is this. It is when you draw the marks. So number one, people have to memorize all these verses. Thank you so much for the gift. They have to memorize all these verses. And scholars have said the verses are over 400,000 SFA. Now, Tobashua memorize one and two lines and all of those things. When they are done doing that, whatever they see determines what they're going to recall and tell the client, or I'm using the word client loosely, and tell the person who has come to consult you.
Sorry, sir. Let me addition. so tábà ti kọ́kọ́ da Ifá náà tábà ti da Ifá tán tábà ti da Ifá ń sìn ta bí bàbá yẹn ṣe mú ká dúró sórí educational kìíní yẹn a máa wá di ìbò dídì yẹn ni pé àwa béèrè lọ́wọ́ Ifá ń pé ire ni nǹkan tí wọ́n fa èrè àti mọ nǹkan tó rí o àti mọ odù tó jáde yìí o bóyá àwa sọ pé so ire lórí ìbò yẹn Ifá ibẹ̀ lọ̀rọ̀ tó ń pè ní ìbò ti jáde so wàá máa béèrè so àwa ní owó àti eegun so a máa béèrè pé òkè ire ló ń dìbì sí gbogbo nǹkan tó wà nù fa ire ni gbogbo ẹ̀ ire láìkú Ifá àwọn bàbá sọ pé ire ẹ̀kọ́ àtàkàrà gan náà ire náà ni so wọn máa dìbò so kò ń ṣe pé tó bá ti dá Ifá yẹn tán lọ máa sọ so a máa kọ́ dìbò náà tó bá ti dìbò tán ìbò ló máa wá sọ specifically fún pé ìbò send project ní Bùsúyì ń dá Ifá yìí sí ìbò send project ní Bùsúyì ń dá Ifá yìí fún ìbò Ifá lu ilẹ̀ dá ọ̀tọ̀ so ìbò yẹn máa sọ fún wa pé ire báyìí là ń dá Ifá yẹn sí so that's the addition tó fẹ́ fi sí.
So all of that to say that tomati wa daton, they don't have to recall the verse tó ní ṣe pẹ̀lú nǹkan tí wọ́n rí ní ojú ọpọ́n. And the point I'm even trying to get to, without getting into the religious aspect, again, I don't like to do all of those things. That's not actually what we're interested in this conversation, is the fact that the way they store all that information for me is fascinating. To the point where, think about it, after over 1,000 years, we still have the data. So when you hear computer and all of those things, let's not be quick to think that they're talking about Pentium 5 or mainframe, like they use it to do it. There will be similarities. And it might even be the case that they actually use it to invent computer. It might be the case, but until we have the proof, we have to be careful not to be like the people we have been saying we don't want to be like. Having said that, we're going to be closing today, but I want to listen to a way. She's been waxing the record in the comment section, so maybe she has something to say. So I think I heard a lady's voice. Please, we would like to hear your voice before we go.
This is good news to all. But first of all, write this number down. 1-845-293-8937. You will get through to Divine Travels and Tours. They help you process and obtain USA work permit visa, tourism and visiting visa, vacation and cruising. Wow! The USA work permit visa allows you to legitimately work anywhere in USA once you arrive. Interesting. Call Divine Travels and Tours, New York, USA on 1-845-293-8937 or send email to divinetravelstours5@gmail.com. Divine Travels and Tours is tested, trusted, and reliable.
Kindly subscribe to YouTube channel and follow on Facebook page at Dr. Zabby's Talk Show.